Every year during this time, we talk about final roster cutdowns, what it comes down to, who stood out, who made the roster that you're really excited for, and who didn't that you're like, okay, it wasn't really that big of a shock. You wish that player nothing but the best, but it is what it is moving forward. And today we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders official cuts from today that happened. And I got to be honest with you, there were a couple that kind of got me, but also not really, if we're being perfectly honest. So let's jump right over to it. This is courtesy of the Raiders organization themselves, and it started with the fact that the team has waived the following players. Alex Bars starting at guard. I mean, Dylan Parham's really stepped up a lot in my mind. Alex Bars, I liked what I've seen in a lot of different phases there, but overall I felt like that's not really that big of a shock. Curtis Bolton at linebacker, again, Darian Butler and all those couple of other guys made the roster. You're really excited for them. Isaiah Ike Brown, also a corner that made the roster there. I got to be honest with you. Like I said, there were multiple players that I felt that stepped up during the preseason. And if I'm being honest, I felt like, Sam Webb, that really did a very good job of showing what he can do for the Raiders. Really got some time there late in games and got the opportunity to stay in. So, Bryce Crosby, another corner that left, but the guy one guy, it started with for me that I was a little disappointed to see was Quintario Cole. I got to be honest with you. I was really excited about Cole. I felt like he was going to make an impact with the Raiders. In our free agency video, the undrafted free agents video that we did right after the draft. He was one of the guys I was really excited about. But it just didn't come to fruition. And then you go to Cole Fotheringham, who had that nice catch in their you got Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, and after that, and plus the Raiders kept like 5 running backs. So, but we've been talking about it all offseason. Like, seriously, they have so many good running backs. It's a shame as to all the guys that they have. So, and Chase Garbers at quarterback, again, the practice squads will be out tomorrow, which, you're probably going to see some like guys like Chase Garbers on there, and I really don't see some of these guys coming back, but Chase Garbers I do expect to see back in a Raider uniform in some capacity. He really showed a lot. Alex Leatherwood, yes, they cut him. I wish we could say that this one was a shock as well, but at the end of the day, obviously it is a business, but, Alex Leatherwood, the former 2021 first-round pick, who he had a tough time. Like, it just never got the ball rolling. There were times where he improved a lot, and other times he just could not get the job done. I think what this actually does show is that Jermaine Illuminor and Thayer Munford are the clear-cut 2 guys that the Raiders are clearly very excited about, and I think that they plan on those 2 being big parts of the Raiders' starting offensive line moving forward, and I'm excited about it. You talk about Thayer Munford being a guy that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler both drafted. I think that plays a huge role when you come down to these final cut downs. Then you go to Jordan Meredith. Again, it really did come down to a numbers game. John Simpson and all of them. Dylan Parham, another guy that stepped up. Lester Cotton Sr. was a guy that I felt stepped up immensely during the preseason as well, so not really shocked there. Bamidele Olaseni, we wanted to see Bam out there a lot more during the preseason, and we did not get that until the final preseason game of the year. And I think Bamidele could also be a guy that you find on the practice squad. There's a lot of physical tools you like there. Like, there is a lot of things you can't teach, like size. I think, plus his arm length, that's really huge when you're a tackle. And I think he's got what it takes to potentially be at the very least, a backup tackle in this league in some capacity. And then Dylan Stoner also let go of the wide receiver. Again, it's tough. You're this stacked at wide receiver, but Tyron Johnson, Keelan Cole also was a guy that was cut. But overall, you really just like what you saw. What was the guys from like DJ Turner and all them that really stepped up this year. So Dylan Stoner is unfortunate, but you were really excited about this wide receiver room. Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, yes, and yes, you just love to see it. Then Myron Tungavailoa Amosa, the defensive end coming up out of Notre Dame. This one, when you watch him on tape, he's actually a guy that hustles around. You cannot coach the amount of effort that this guy put into during the offseason. You love the guy and just everything he brings to a squad. But, let's be real. The Raiders' defensive line was stacked. You had Malcolm Kuntz, you had Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. Tashawn Bauer really stepped up during the preseason as well. So after that, again, I got a little bit, you kind of questioned of who else was going to stick around there. And, obviously, you kind of want to make the argument, can he play 5 tech? Can you do all those different things? And yes, to a degree, but let's be real. The Raiders had so much different talent around that it made sense for MTA to hit the road. But I do hope he comes on with another team. I think he's a good player. It can definitely find himself on with another roster. Would not shock me if he's on the practice squad either. He definitely showed some stuff during the preseason. Also showing some stuff this preseason was Zach Van Velkenberg, the defensive end coming up out of Iowa. I was high on him. I'm not going to lie. A guy that had like 5.5 sacks last year for the Hawkeyes. I was excited. I felt that, obviously, yes, you bring in these guys in the preseason. You want them to ball out and just do what they can to be able to make the roster. And again, the Raiders were just so stacked at edge that it was like, okay, fine, this is going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty tough. Austin Walter, one of the few running backs that didn't make it because, again, it was just one of those things where the Raiders literally kept 5 running backs. It was actually very, very shocking, but it is what it is. And then Isaiah Zuber, the wide receiver, who also had a pick last game as well. It was absolutely awesome. I believe it was against the Patriots. But, again, stacked at wide receiver, it was one of those deals. Can you punt return? Can you do all these things to be able to get on the field and special teams? And we just didn't see it from Isaiah Zuber, unfortunately. And also, obviously, we mentioned Keelan Cole getting released, and then Hornus Grasu, did also get released. And then Matthias Farley, the safety, I was hoping that he was going to make the roster, but I feel like this really, Tre'von Morgan, all those guys, they're going to ball out this year. Darius Phillips, the corner that they signed, that was a guy I was really excited for as a corner. But again, guys like Sam Webb really stepped up, and I'm really excited for it. Also, Kyle Peco, one of the latest cuts for the Raiders to be able to get down to 53. Kyle Peco, if you watch him on tape, he did a lot of good things, but I think this is more of what you saw from, guys like Neil Farrell Jr. that really stepped up as well from that defensive tackle spot. So, you're sad to see Kyle Peco go, but you're really excited to see a guy like Neil Farrell Jr. step up and be a part of this franchise moving forward. Also, placed on the injured reserve list was tight end Jacob Hollister. It is what it is there. And then finally, the Raiders did trade. This one was kind of the biggest shock to me. They did trade Tre'von Mullen Jr., the corner, to the Arizona Cardinals for an exchange, a conditional 2023 NFL draft pick. I do believe he has to be active for like 9 or 10 games like that. There's still more details coming out on that, but got to be honest with you, that was the biggest shock there. I felt like he was a guy that, yes, has been injured, but overall, he was a guy I was really excited for this year. So, but again, I think it's a testament to what we saw from guys like Sam Webb and everybody else on the corners, who honestly, there were very few corners that got burned. There was a lot of good quality play from the secondary for the Raiders this preseason. But let us know what you guys think. That's a look at all the guys that were cut today. Prayers for everyone involved that was cut. You wish them nothing but the best, but that is what did happen for the Las Vegas Raiders today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the official list of the players that were cut by the Las Vegas Raiders.